One thing I can say about this story time, sometimes it's like really good to reflect because reflecting allows you to like understand the power that's within you. And when I say the power that's within you, it's like when you actually start disciplining your mind and you kind of start guiding your thoughts and you make a decision. And when you really sit back and think about a decision you made and it actually is an investment where you're seeing it pay off years later and you have been able to do things that you never even really thought about doing or you didn't even know that you was going to do. That's what I could say the Sister Girl collection has done for me. So in the previous video, I was talking about how I wrote Sister Girl and the Training Wheels. That's the first book. So the second book, Sister Girl in the New Dress, after, y'all are going to be so amazed by this. After I sat in the library and wrote Sister Girl and the Training Wheels, I'm not sure if I had the title just yet by then, but I knew it was going to be a book about a girl with her dad learning how to ride a bike. Because, funny, my first bike I had was a bike that was my brother's bike. And I remember my dad put training wheels on the bike. So that's my first bike. Then we had the next best story. The next best memory I have of a bike was one Christmas, me and my brother, we had the same, I swear, I had the girl version, he had the boy version, but it was like the same 18 speed. Oh my God, growing up in the country, that's everything. Bicycles are everything. It was everything. But yeah, get back to part 2. So, after I wrote Sister Girl in the Training Wheels, I actually went and wrote Sister Girl in the New Dress. This is something I never really talk about. I never really talk about it. But I guess it's time for me to share. So Sister Girl in the New Dress, I wrote that book the same day I wrote Sister Girl in the Training Wheels. Yes, I wrote it the same day. So I left out the library. I walked down the street from the library and I walked to the park. And as a kid, I loved the park. Like, I remember going to the park when we lived in Mount Vernon. My dad used to take us to the park. And my mom used to take us to, what's the thing? I can't remember it. The Botanical Gardens. Botanical Gardens by the Bronx Zoo. So I always loved doing outdoor type of things. Like, outdoor activities always been my jam. So I walked to the park. And I'm telling you this because it makes you think about how you can tap into your creative energy. I remember walking to the park and I sat down on one of the benches and I remember just like closing my eyes. I was like, what do I want to talk about next? What's a memory, a childhood memory that really stood out to me, that impacted me a lot? So the first one was riding bikes, learning how to ride a bike, training wheels, learning, my dad taught me how to ride a bike. The next book was Sister Girl and the New Dress. And all I have to say about that is that book is really near and dear to me because my mom was a seamstress. My mom used to sew for me, my sister. So if we had an event at school, at church, or anything, she would sew dresses. And my mom was really good at it, like excellent. My mom's an excellent seamstress. So that's why I wrote Sister Girl in the New Dress. And I actually sat in a park that I grew up going to and wrote Sister Girl in the New Dress. All right, I may do another part. Stay tuned for my stories.